Okay. A couple of seconds here and catch this to hit mute. I didn't have anything muted when I opened it up, so it's going to come in playing. Doing a little bit of a late one this evening. It's 10:25 basically right now. I figured, what the hell. Had a neighbor come down, hang out for a couple hours or bullshitting. Or I would have done it earlier, but that's okay. Kind of dozed for a little bit this afternoon and caught a little extra sleep than I wanted to, so I'm going to be awake for a bit. So I figured a good time to get this going. What I'm doing today, or tonight, in this video, whatever you want to look at it, however you want to look at it, how's everybody doing on this Saturday night? We're getting snow around here, not right now. Supposed to get 1 to 3 over the night, and then 1 to 3 tomorrow. I'll have to go in and show. We got some today, but it didn't really end until almost 5 o'clock. And it was pretty, getting pretty late at that point. So I really didn't want to go in and, shovel for 3 hours and into the dark. So we'll just hit it in the morning when it's done snowing. Go take care of the complex. Pretty much snowed all day around here. Light but steady all day. So anyways, I'm going to get into this thing. So what we got here, like I say, is the ProtoForm Firebird. It's a 1971 Firebird body from ProtoForm. Kind of get it in there to part number and stuff so you can kind of see if you're interested. Toss that over here on the ground. Roll easier to do that. Our decal sheet. And some screws to mount. I think we got two different, there's two different front ends. You got the stock front end. Yeah, I don't really know, man. You got the front end in the mold, and then a separate front end. And I really don't see any difference in these front ends. They look pretty much identical, unless, so if you break one, you got a spare one. I presume that's what we're looking at, because they look pretty much identical. So anyways, go ahead and grab a couple still picks. I need to go ahead and charge this up too, because she's getting a little low. Not bad. She's at 19, so she ain't terrible. Put that down. And see, I'm getting that much overdone, but okay. So we're going to start trimming. I think the first thing I'm going to do is cut this front end off. And we'll cut right through this spot here that is formed. One side right to the other. And separate the two items. We'll bring this up here a little bit. Follow that little line, being careful not to get too close to the main body part. Leave a little bit in there to trim. Let's cut her right on. Just being careful. This spot. Center now. then trimmed off right up the edge. So I may as well trim this edge all the way. Snap a pic of that, I guess. And then get this thing charging. Charging quite quick. Bing! I like using scissors myself. A lot of people do the score and snap. Now this is a little lip that the front end secures to, that you would screw the front end to actually. Go ahead and cut through that spot. This section off. I'll trim that in. Enter from this way. Now do the same over here. Fender. Right. A little bit more. The other side. Clean up nicely. Now, run down the side a bit. I guess I'll start with this side because I'm right-handed, so it'll make it a little bit easier. Bypass the wheel wells for a minute. Body's not super thick, but it's not thin. There are a couple of places where it is thinner. It's not like it's really thick. Bodies are, but pretty decent. This is where a lot of people would use a freight blade, but I like my curved nose scissors with just a little pressure. Not terrible, but not too much. And little cuts. I'll add a little bit, get a little bit better trim on it later. Same thing with the wheel well area. You miss it by a little bit. Just coming through that bottom area. Same thing, we're going to come down low and just trim real low behind everything. Now, trying to see, kind of real low up in here, a little tight there, but I stayed a little bit low on everything just to kind of get a good close trim. And then I will come back and give it a tight trim. So, look here. Trim all the name off. Funky angle here. Want to go downward. You gotta keep your scissors kind of angled up just a little bit. And with the folds of this stuff, it's a little tricky. Now, we'll trim up this back corner and take this whole chunk right up. I'll do the same thing. Trim close, but leave a little room down the line. I did just put new blades in the knives, but better from down here on this side. Stay a little lower. go. Crappy pieces that can be thrown away. Set these aside. Okay. Now we can get a little better trim on it. I don't know why this thing's kind of like that. I'd try to back it up too much and it gets funky. So, yep, now we'll go through and give it a nice tight trim, at least on the bottom side all the way. Actually, we need to trim that spot right there a little bit. So I'm going to do that to the side and get that right. Okay. Smidge more. So now I'll come down this side. Let's turn myself around. This little spot here. Okay. Better job. I should get me one of these little suction cup units to help hold the body better. There. And then I'll run some sandpaper with a backer on it to clean up those edges and smooth them off and level them out a smidge more. Let's see. Stop there. Here, go right up into that corner. Okay. Same thing on this side. Come up into this corner. Nice detailed line right there to come up into the back. Drop in. Again. Okay. This side gonna need a little trim itself, just a smidge there. A little bit right here. And starting right here. Trim up here. Go. So, from the front through the side, a little bit right there in front of the full exhaust section here. I'm gonna have to trim. May as well take care of that right now. A little bit down here too. Better hold on this though with a slightly different angle there. Okay. Good little sanding to get smoothed out, but I can trim it a little bit closer. Okay. Now we'll start on this side. And I'm going to finish up this tiny little bit here. Finish up this little bit here. Flip my scissors. Fingers in the right spot. Get it ahead. I just use my scissors and have good light. You can see the trim line. All bodies should have a pretty decent trim line around them. Wheel wells exception sometimes. Across the bottoms, you should have a pretty good indicator line. Oh, this is where you cut, and this is where you stop cutting. Hard to keep a good blade on it. Keep your scissors at the right angle with this flexiness here. So they're not super thick, but they're not, oh my goodness, thin. But still a little tricky to trim. Okay. This out a little better on this side. Okay. Better trim right here. Do this for the front clip. But what I'm thinking about doing, make sure it's pretty clean. Spend a little time in here. Just clean it up. And should trim that again too. Close, but off just a little bit. So, move over here where I get a little different light shadow. Here. Okay, and this mess up a smidge. Shrapnel pieces. Now, except for wheel wells, should be pretty close. Wish they didn't have that. The rear window, they got a PF molded in there. Of course, I could always trim out the rear window and put in another piece of Lexan across it, make it look like a, indented like a rear window. I suppose I wanted to get that crazy on it. Let me rough open these wells. Well, may as well just trim them out. Trim them on the lines. Okay. Use that nose because they're curved and we're cutting around a curve. Okay. 2 trims. Tricky to keep them all in there. It's kind of weird how this thing's set up. I'm not sure I'm overly fond of it. I think it could do better as far as how it gave you a you pop it in. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button, aka the like button. Hit the subscribe if you would. You subscribe to me, I'll subscribe back. Smash that bell for notifications. Don't forget to choose the drop down and choose all notifications. I notice a lot of times when I subscribe to somebody or subscribe back to somebody, that's set to personalized, which means you won't get notified of anything from that user unless it's sent directly tagged to you. So go in there and change those to all, so you can see all the videos that you might be missing from your favorite creators. Turn it back around. Trickier to do that way, so I'm going to retrim this way. Kind of can come up a little bit. Okay. That should work. Even rounding. Spin them. And from this angle here for a minute, I can actually go up here. Let's see, just a little bit of that line still. Right about there. All right. It's just a little bit all the way. Just smidge up this back side here. So you can see that trim line. You might have to look pretty tightly, but it's there. Okay. A little bit there too. That off. Here. Okay. I can deal with that. Looks pretty good. Keep those just in case. Might be able to do something with them. All right, we're pretty well trimmed out. I'm gonna have to play, take my, I've got like a yellow small sanding block, plastic block with Velcro that puts on, and got a little rounded edge and flat area, so you can flat it and sand it. So, sorry, did I wake you up, kitty? Let's see how it fits. Hang these down a little bit. What? We're gonna be hang way down. He's out of here. Tuck him, keep him low. That a little bit. This way a smidge. Probably trim this side just a little more. Come forward a bit. About there. Yeah, might be able to do with that. Trim this thing just a little bit. This rear dampener, get it to tuck back in a little better. You can kind of see it there. If I move it too much, it's going to drop. It'd be nice to see it, you know. But that's not bad. It's barely hitting them. Just barely touching that full compression. Pretty much misses the back, so I might have to trim it up a little higher just to get her so she's not quite touching. But not bad. That's an easy little fix. So add a little trim to her. I can actually see there's another spot where it's less of a cut line, a little bit more where the mold may end that you can cut to, and that's probably what I'll end up doing, trimming all those out to those spots. But so far, yeah, it looks pretty decent. Grab the camera here and bounce around the room. See what I'm seeing here. Not wanting to really, they're focusing a little bit better. Unzoom it some. And then, of course, I still got to trim the front end. But she's trimmed up pretty close. And like I was saying, when you push it down, you can see they're just barely getting to the tire. A little bit more on the front. So I'll trim. You can kind of see where there's a little bit better mold line there, where it just kind of curves around the edge, and that's where I'll trim back to, open them up to there. That will make a bigger difference for sure. You here for the moment. Get you reorganized. So yeah, a little bit more trim work. That ain't too bad. So let's see. Go ahead and start on this side, and I'm going to come right up and trim right on the line. Flip the scissors, trimming up front here, front clip. Just back around the other way again for this. I don't think that's a. Gotta cut that away a little bit. Get a little better angle in here. Actually, let me go ahead and cut just way up here. All this funkiness off here and get it out of my way. Now it'll be a lot easier to cut. Cut all that crap off it. On the top side. Now I'll come up this side. Okay. Front. Go ahead and catch this side from here down because I can a little more trim there. Okay. A little rough across the front. Not terrible. Yeah, so we gotta paint the rest of that up. Paint in the butt. I think I'll keep that junk. It's rigid and firm. So you got your front end, and then of course this part made separate. So what I'm hoping to do is actually be able to have it off. Get it set up to where it's running. I can have the body mounted and everything with the front end off it. Pop a couple magnets on it, but then I'll be able to put a radiator and everything else out without it, and maybe run it without the front clip, making it look a little bit more drifty. But yeah, overall, works pretty good. I can zoom that out a little bit more, at least. A little bit drifty, but yeah, that'll work out. Sit down there like that. Not until I get something kind of hold it in place. But yeah, there we go. 71 Trans Am, Firebird Trans Am, whichever you want to call it. But yeah, turned out pretty good. Nice trim job. I would say I'll clean up that front spoiler a smidge. It's got a little wiggle in it. Get that all tidied up. Same thing with the body. Get the wheel was trimmed out to that extra line up higher. I'll do that off camera. It's tedious work. Get her all cleaned out real nicely. From there, and then go body paint wise, it's going to be very easy. I'm going to pretty much make it a flat black murdered out rig. I'm going to flat black it. So you paint it all black on the inside like you normally would. Of course, I'm going to tape out the windows and I'll smoke them. Won't do them black, but they'll be, smoked. But you paint everything out the way you want it to, do what you need to do, do all your detailing stuff. And then when you take the outside off, you got your body protector. You cut out all your windows, get all your windows trimmed out, and then peel off everything else, leaving your windows covered really nicely, a nice trim job. So all your plastic comes off around your window, and then you turn around and you spray a matte finish on the outside, and it flattens it all out. You could sit there and spend the time with a green scrubby or something, but then it's going to be all scratched out. The matte finish just gives it a matte finish, and it's easy to touch up here and there. A little bit of tape, a little bit of spray, touch back up, looks matte again. But I'm going to flat black murder it. So, and I'll probably have a little bit of red in it because that's kind of what I'm got here on hand anyway. So as I get things, I'll tweak it out a little bit and get a little bit of red on. But yeah, overall, I think it looks good. Let's see if I can kind of pick it up here and get it tilted a little better towards the camera. And it looks terrible in back because I'm holding it up kind of cockeyed. It's real terrible there. Too far back. About like, Jesus, got it all whacked out. All whacked out. There we go. Hanging up on my wires. That's closer anyways where it's supposed to be once I get her done. Like I said, she's setting up a little high now, so I have to do a little bit of tweaking here and there. Get things done so I can get it a little bit lower in there. But when she's done, she won't be sitting bad. Probably put some softer springs on, let it sink down a little bit more too. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and shut her off. Figure I'd come in and knock this off and then add her an hour. So what, she's 11 something, 11:15, 11:30 here. Yeah, 11:28. So that's a good time to shut it out. Thanks for checking it out. If you happen to like what you see, hit that thumbs up, that subscribe button. I'll subscribe back to you. Try to grow everybody's channel, get somebody some pennies. If not us, somebody else. And hit that bell so notifications you get them. Anyways, thanks for checking it out. Next one will probably be me doing a little bit more prep work and then getting ready to paint it. I'll end up just probably painting it off camera. I'm not much of a painter. I'm going to make it simple and easy on this one, go from there. So thanks a lot. We'll talk to you guys later.